Hi, welcome to the Listener's Guide. I'm Steve. 30 years ago, Rick Astley's hit Never Gonna Give You Up topped the Billboard charts and since then has more or less taken on a life of its own. To a traditional musicologist or music theorist, it would not seem like the kind of thing worth studying. It's an aggressively predictable song with its meaning firmly on the surface. Its sound marks it as a pretty nondescript pop song of the late 80s, gated reverb and all. The only thing that it has going for it is that it's a real earworm. But that's why I'm so fascinated by it. Despite all the qualities which would normally characterize it as valueless, it has had 30 years of staying power and has earned itself a pretty strong position in American pop culture. But first, the music. The synthesized band plays just a few chords on loop for basically the entirety of the song. There isn't so much as a key change. The text is pretty banal too. Just look at the first verse here. The third line puts the direct object first and ends with the preposition, all to shoehorn in an end rhyme that exceeds the first line by 4 whole syllables. It's hardly the poetic depth that an analyst would sit and marinate on. Even so, the poetry does create an interesting rhythmic effect. Because of the repetitive melody and the uneven poetic meter, Astley has to fit a different amount of syllables into the same amount of time. Just listen to these 4 iterations of the same melody.
We're no strangers to love. I've still commitments while I'm thinking of. We've known each other for so long. Inside we both know what's been going on.
So there, I've thrown a bone to the analysts. You've got some unity and variety. Yes! But obviously, as a pop song, it's more than just music. It's also a music video. And this is where things get really interesting. Astley's voice is certainly a big part of the experience. In the context of 1980s pop, it's pretty androgynous. The notes are high for a male singer, but there's an unexpected depth to his voice that makes them sound lower than they really are. But at the same time, that depth makes it sound a little bit more feminine to my ear. Let's compare it to Cher's 1989 hit, If I Could Turn Back Time. Both singers occupy a sort of in-between space with regards to our typical assumptions about gender and voice. When you put that kind of voice on the body of someone who looks like a high schooler and moves like the mom chaperoning the dance, there's a disconnect between body and voice that makes it hard to look away. Speaking of moms chaperoning dances, for a long time this song just faded into the background of white suburban motherhood. It's a catchy song that stays at one energy level the whole time, making it easy to fit in the early 90s soft rock stream of John Mellencamp, Celine Dion, Amy Grant, and others. That was actually my main association of the song for most of my life. Riding in my mom's minivan to various evening and weekend activities, the song would come on and never quite grabbed my attention, but it filled the silence pretty nicely. That sounds weird. I had a great relationship with my mom, but you don't need to talk for an entire car ride. But of course, the dawning of the internet age changed everything. Know Your Meme says that people began rickrolling in May 2007, only a short while after YouTube was even a thing. The prank involves a bait and switch where you send someone a link promising something like a scandalous article, only to have them smacked in the face with a mom-dancing, teenage boy-looking, very 80s pop star who sounds like Cher and is singing an entirely too predictable generic love song that you won't be able to get out of your head for weeks. It's the perfect kind of absurdist internet joke. No one is harmed, despite whatever rage face they may send your way. Are those even a thing anymore? So basically, Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up is like a musical weed. Every time we try to fight it, it pops up somewhere else, always hanging in the background, ready to strike. But now in the internet age, we gave in and put a plaque up in front of it saying, "This is a weed. It's our weed and we love it." What's another pop song you can think of that's faced a similar fate? Any others you want us to look at? Leave us a comment. And hey, thanks for watching this episode of The Listener's Guide, which is brought to you by all of our lovely patrons on Patreon. If you like it, please do consider donating. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on The Listener's Guide.